I really think there's got to be a change of government in Britain. And you can't. We don't have another 4 years or whatever the next election is. It's too long. Something's got to be done. There's got to be a dissolution of Parliament and a new vote held. Really what matters is rallying the people of Britain, really getting the people of Britain to get the message out there, talk to your friends and family, and build a massive power base among the people. And like I said, you really got to appeal to the sort of average, just the normal people that just want to go about their business. That they're sort of in a village somewhere, they're working, they just want to mind their own business. But you've got to point out to them that if we don't take action, they won't be able to mind their own business because other people are going to come and maraud them. There's genuine risk of rape and murder, and the destruction of the country, and dissolution of the entire way of life. And so, yes, in the normal course of business, if things were if you weren't under a massive attack, then people should go about their business and just live their lives. But unfortunately, if the fight comes to you, you don't have a choice. You have to fight. So you have to rally all of the people of Britain to fight for the future.
Let me ask
and
the people
if this
of Britain,
doesn't happen, there won't be a future.
Are you ready to fight for your future, Britain?
Fight for your future. Do it. Go.
Will we be gagged any longer, Britain?
Go. But you know what I mean, Tommy. You know what I mean. I mean, I talk to my friends in Britain, and they're like, yes, they live in a village here or there, or a town or city here or there, and they're like, well, it doesn't seem like it's really that much of a problem. I'm like, well, if you want to know what's going to happen to your town or village, just visit London, and you'll see that it's filled with crime. It often doesn't feel like Britain at all, and it's only a matter of time before that is what happens to your town or village. It starts in London, but it will spread to every town and village in the country, and no one will have any peace.
We're running out of time, people. We're running out of time. Elon, you built rockets, you built cars, you built satellites, you built AI. Things most of us couldn't dream of. It's fair to say you're a visionary. When you look at leaders in Europe and the UK today, do you think they share the same talent for future vision, or do you feel like they'll be left behind and out of touch?
Well, I think we've got to have a freer country, a freer. Europe in general has to be freer. It's stifled by bureaucracy. I think it's good that Britain left the EU because there's just too much bureaucracy in the EU. But frankly, instead of really going down a path of personal freedom and deregulation and getting rid of these stifling regulations, unfortunately, the British government has pretty much stayed on par with the EU. If not in some ways made the stifling regulation worse. If you have excess government regulation and oppression, you stifle the freedom of people to try new and great ideas. And Britain used to be a country that did amazing things, some of the boldest things on the entire planet. And that is possible in the future. But it can't be done if you've got this massive oppressive bureaucracy and a government that doesn't care about its people. And that has to change. There has to be profound change. And there's not much time left.
Elon, you've said before that civilization is fragile. We agree.
Yes.
It's precious. When you look at the West right now, every country in the West, with its wars, its divisions, its censorship, and its declining trust in institutions, none of us trust them at all. None of the public trust them.
For good reason.
Are you optimistic or pessimistic about where we are heading?
I think if the people of Britain take charge and actually ensure that there's a government that represents their interests and not a government that represents foreign interests, then I think Britain has a great future. and I think we can be optimistic. I think there's amazing things that are possible. If the technology that's coming is used in the right way, we can have an incredibly exciting future, one which is, sort of Star Trek made real. It's sort of like the exciting utopian sci-fi where we have spaceships and we've got robots and we've got incredible technologies that are really exciting. But we need to preserve civilization long enough for that to happen, and we need to go onward and upward. And we need to fight for such a future. Such a future is not inevitable. We have to fight for such a future.
I think that many British people had lost hope, but after today's scene, have you got hope again, Britain? Britain is awake. Thanks to you, Elon. Thanks to your input. Can we just ask...
Well, thanks to you, Tommy.
Thank you, brother. Can we ask, what do you see as the future of the UK and Europe in your vision? Where are we heading? What's the future like for us?
Well, I think there needs to be a future where where people take charge, where there's deregulation, a massive reduction in bureaucracy, and generally a new hope, where people look forward, wake up in the morning, and look forward to the future. They're excited about what's going to happen next. But we must have revolutionary government change for that to occur. And this is not ordinary course of business sort of stuff. This really requires everyone to sort of marshal the people, to take charge, reform the government, and make sure that you actually have a government that is for the people, by the people.
If I may, as a London MP, could I please begin by paying tribute to the brave police officers from both the Met and many other forces who were bravely policing protests on Saturday, a number of whom were injured in the line of duty as a result of abhorrent attacks. I'm sure the thoughts and prayers of all members on all sides of the House are with them.
With flags. Does the Home Secretary agree with me that flags are a symbol of our pride in our country and shouldn't be hijacked by plastic patriots and those who don't work in our country's interest?
Home Secretary.
Well, let me be very clear. I understand the strength of feeling across communities in this country about the use of hotels in particular. The right to protest is an ancient right in this country and we will protect it. But it is important that we do not slip into rhetoric that incites violence or hatred towards other communities. I love the St George's flag. I love the Union Jack. That flag belongs to me as much as it does to anybody else, and we must never allow any of our flags to become symbols of division. I would like to use this statement to address this weekend's events. On Saturday, well over 100,000 protesters marched in London. In doing so, many exercised an ancient right, the right to peaceful protest. But not everyone did. Some turned on the brave police officers who were there to keep the peace. 26 officers were injured and 24 protesters were arrested. Those violent thugs will face the full force of the law. But those who turn to violence on Saturday do not represent who this country really is. When a foreign billionaire calls on our citizens to fight against our ancient democracy, I know this is met by the vast majority with a shake of the head. And that's because we are, in truth, a tolerant country. And yes, we are a diverse one too. You can be English with roots here that stretch back 1,000 years, but you can also be English and look like me. The St George's Cross and the Union Jack belong to us all. They are symbols of unity, a kingdom united, and they must never be used to divide us.
Given the seriousness of a high-profile figure apparently urging attacks on our democracy, could the Home Secretary set out what assessment the Home Office has made of these statements and what steps are being taken across government to respond to them and to protect our democracy?
Well, I say to the Honourable Lady, there is both a legal question here and a political question. On the legal question, in any case, whether the one she raises or another, it is always for the police and the Crown Prosecution Service to make decisions independently as to whether the law has been broken and charges should be brought. You would never expect a minister to comment. It would be improper to do so. But on the political question, let me say this. The words that were used at the weekend are abhorrent, and I know that the vast majority of people in this country will feel the same way, whether you're a hostile state or a hostile foreign billionaire. No one gets to mess with British democracy.